Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Push Start. My name is Ans and I'll be taking you through the tips and tools that'll help you get started on your productivity journey. Now we talk about education, career, early career, and also micro-entrepreneurship. A bit of finance there and there. And today's episode, we are talking about 5 alternatives to university. Now, we know that the South African university system has a very strict admission process and a very competitive one at that. There are over 1 million students that applied for the year 2021, class of 2021, but only just 200,000 were admitted to varsities, traditional universities. Now, guys, I just want to say this. Even though we are a growing population, it is very evident that we need more universities and more alternative ways of educating young people. And this is what this episode is about. Now, disclaimer, I want to point this out very clearly, is that your success or your education does not need to be determined by your university admission. There are tons of people that have made alternative strides and they made the most out of it. Yes, university might be the ticket to a high-paying job that will allow you to do all of the things that we talk about here on this channel, but there are also other unexplored avenues. So let me just get into number 1. All right, off the jump, the first recommended one is to get a vocational skill. But here's a caveat. I need you to use it for yourself. Think about using it for yourself. Yes, a vocational skill is any skill that has to do with your practical skills, i.e. working with your hands and getting your hands dirty. This could be a plumber, electrician, this could be a welding professional, anything like that. It also could be a hairdresser, a makeup artist. There are schools or there are TVET colleges that cater for that, especially here in South Africa or Southern Africa at large. Now, there are dozens of these in each and every province, and what I have found that people complain about is that the job prospects are very low. Now, you need to think like a statistician here and consider the numbers. South Africa, we know in terms of an industrial country, if you're taking up skills that are in your mechanical/electrical fields, that you'll be competing with a large talent pool for jobs that have been shrinking as the years go. Now, here's the caveat and where it comes in very handy. Using the skills for yourself. There's no secret that there's a huge demand of plumbers that can do a very exceptional jobs, and also electricians that can do a good job in wiring your house or business. Now, you could use this to your advantage and you could pick a niche after you get your trade test, whether it's sponsored through a TVET. You can start early as N2. I know my brother is doing this, and you can go all the way up into N6. That's your national vocational certificate. Now, this works in your favor if you're going to pick a niche and then think about entrepreneurship and start servicing certain clients. You could be an electrician for motor spares shops. You can be a plumber for apartments. You can be their contract plumber. This is another way to make money while you're still looking for a job. As we know that in South Africa, the job situation is very dire. So I'm giving you the tips to look into that. All right, number 2 should actually have been number 1, but number 1, I only put it there because it's the most accessible option to most South Africans and Southern Africans and Africans at large. Number 2 is learn digital skills of the future. Now, I'm pretty sure that everyone has a smartphone in their pocket. It might not be the best and latest, but if it can browse the internet, watch a couple of videos, then you're good to go. The digital skills that I'm talking about are things that companies or people will be needing into the future that just involve the exchange of ones and zeros, binary numbers on the internet, right? And this could range from graphic design, which I've done myself, and I was able to pay through my living expenses in varsity and also live a very good lifestyle while doing it. You could also look into digital marketing. I use that as a skill to cover up while I was looking for an engineering job, which is what I do now. There's also alternatives like web development, which is huge and blowing up right now, as each and every company needs to build a digital presence, and a website is one of those first things. And social media marketing is another one of those skills. Companies are finding it hard to breach through the market, get high qualifying leads. By leads, I mean customers that are willing to buy and purchase, only through social media. Now, I could go on a lengthy talk on how to leverage your marketing skills in order to gain clients that you can get customers for, but that could be another video. If you require that, please comment down below. So digital skills of the future are plenty: cloud computing, and I'll include a link by the Minister of Higher Education, Blade Nzimande, where he outlines the skills that will be needed for the future. And also I'll include a link by the US Bureau of Labor, where they outline the skills of the future that have the high growth percentage rate. Now, quick fact, when you're looking for a job or you're looking for a career, you need to balance your passion. You need to balance the demand in the market, and you also need to look at the supply. And traditional engineering or traditional jobs, you might find that certain jobs are oversaturated in the market, whereas jobs like computer programming, cloud computing are very limited in the market, and you could look into that. So the last tip here, I need you to be open-minded, because it's not for everyone, but it's a small start in order to help you leapfrog into your next step of getting a job or getting a vocation that you like. I would think of micro-entrepreneurship. And now micro-entrepreneurship is split into different facets. You need to learn how to market, which we've talked about in the previous point. Also need to know how to sell, how to get in front of people, how to look at the market, conduct a market survey, and find out what do people need. Now, these all sound like very fancy words, business words that you need an MBA to get, but no, actually, you can learn these things through experience. I used to sell the most simplest of things, whether it's ice lollies, aka equal time, what we call it here in South Africa. I used to sell snacks at Varsity. I used to sell pre-packed meals, all of those things. And that only comes from a market survey, just to find out what does your community need, and then you could provide that. Micro-entrepreneurship could also translate into a digital skill, like the second tip that we talked about, and that is starting something like this: a YouTube channel of your own, or a podcast where you can monetize your influence and your audience, and then you can use AdSense or whatever affiliate programs that you have in order to gain an income. Now, here are a couple of things that I need to outline about micro-entrepreneurship that you need to be careful of. Number one, the biggest saying in entrepreneurship is that you don't need to be a chef in your own kitchen. Yes, you might be thinking of getting a business, right? And you might think you are servicing people, but then you might end up creating an additional job for yourself. Maybe you're doing that while you're in college, using skill one, gaining a vocational skill, or you're doing that while you're learning digital skills, right? What you need to be careful for is being a chef in your own kitchen and doing your own work. Now, a book that I'd recommend that will alleviate this problem is The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. I hope I get the name right. That will teach you how to operate as an entrepreneur and start building systems and procedures for yourself, so that you can be out of your business and you can delegate to someone while you're thinking about how to expand that. Another book that I have loved, now I've listened to the audiobook of this, is The Blue Ocean Strategy. And that is how to create a niche for yourself, a small area that you are servicing, in order for you not to be competing in the red ocean when everyone is biting each other there. And an example of this is, remember what we talked about in the first point. You could choose to learn how to be an electrician. However, you could choose to be an electrician for apartments or student accommodations. Now that's an issue right there, and that's you choosing a blue ocean strategy. But if you need more about micro-entrepreneurship, please let me know in the comments below. I could talk about sales, marketing based on the experience that I've had. All right, guys, remember, university is a great way to segue into a good career if the career needs a degree, but there are tons and tons of options, which my little brother is also exploring, and I'm very proud of him, that are outside of university that could give you a fulfilling career and also some kitching in your pang. All right, guys, till the next one. Cheers.